Okay, friends, so today what we're going to discuss is the use of the subjunctive. But before we get to that, let's talk about how to form the subjunctive. The first thing you do is you put the verb in the yo form. Then you drop the okay. Very nice. If it is an AR verb, your ending is emos, Good. And if it is an ER or an IR verb, our endings are now and look at me, the tech wizard. Okay, so the next thing we need to discuss is when we have irregular situations. And that's when a verb ends in gar, car, or zar. But I want to make sure that you are absolutely clear that when this happens, you take that changed ending all the way through. It's not just for the yo form like we've seen in the past. So gar becomes ge, car becomes ke, and zar becomes se. So let's take an example let's do with zar. Give me a verb that ends in zar. Yes. Great one. We use that all the time. So let's use a different one. Let's use comenzar. Something we don't, it means the same thing as empezar. And it's also a stem changer E to IE. They have a lot in common. Okay, so if we are using the subjunctive and you want to say that I begin, it would be comience. Good, not only is that stem change there, but so is the se. That se travels through all forms. So how would you say you begin? Comiences. Continue with the he, she form. Comience. But one issue comes up in the we form when a stem changer is involved, and what is that one issue? The stem change does not occur. So it would be comencemos. You still have that se, and then in the they form it's comiencen. Okay, let's continue on. There are cinco irregulares. What are they in the subjunctive?
Star.
Okay, ear.
Star.
Stare.
Star.
Estar. Saber. And dar. Good. So quickly, what does ear become? Vaya. What does ser become? Sea. What does estar become? Este. With an accent. Good. In all forms but the we. What does saber become? Sepa. And what does dar become? De. With an accent on the yo and the he, she forms. Good. Now, on to the next part. Why do we use subjunctive? Let's talk about why we use it. So, reasons for subjunctive. How many do we have so far? 2. Yes.
3.
We have 2. All right, the number one reason that we use subjunctive is with what verb? Yes. What does that mean? To want, okay? When you want something of someone else. What else do you need with this verb? A switch in subject and yes. And a K. All right. So let's make an example together. One that we have not seen yet. Who can give me an example? Yeah, Tiara. In English. That you take out the trash. Now, we've said it a million times. In English, we would say, I want you to take out the trash. Why do we word it like this? Yep, so that you recognize in Spanish, this is how I have to form it. Okay, at this point, we are looking at how many clauses? 2, good. You have your independent clause and your dependent clause. And we're looking for a couple of things. Sorry about that. We're looking for a couple of things. Do we have a want? Yes. We have a want. Do we have a switch in subject?
Yes.
I, you. Good. And do we have a K?
Yes.
All right, we have met all the requirements. We are going to need subjunctive. So let's hear what this sounds like in Spanish. Okay? Quiero, que, and I love that you use this because what's to take out? Sacar. C-A-R verb. So you take would become saques la basura. Fabulous. Okay, that's old news. Yesterday, we talked about a new reason that we use subjunctive number 2, and that reason is impersonal expressions. Impersonal expressions. I'm not going to go through the entire list, but can you give me a couple of examples? Sir. Es importante que. Can I hear another example? Maybe this side of the room wants to get involved today. Yes. Es probable que. Very nice. How about the center aisle? Anybody in this aisle? Yes. Es posible que. Okay. And we'll stop here. There's so many. Now earlier, with querer, we talked about how we needed a switch in subject and we needed a que. Do those occur in these impersonal expressions? They do, and you don't even have to come up with it. Because the que is already here, and the switch in subject exists organically. Because es means it. So no matter what comes after this statement, it's going to be a switch in subject. Because the it is just on its own. Okay? It's necessary, it's important that you wear clothes to school. It's necessary that we consider having a snow day tomorrow. So let's come up with an example together. Somebody give me one in English. Go ahead.
It is good that you
Well, it is good, you were ready with that, that you don't. Let's say use. Let's use use. Use drugs. Wonderful. They are. All right, so start with your impersonal expression. What is the impersonal expression here? Es bueno que. Es bueno que. And now you don't use. No. So right away, just to make that word, just to make that negative, you just put an O in front of it. There's no word in Spanish for don't. You just say no. Uses. Uses. Because what's the verb for to use? Usar. Las drogas. Excelente. And that, amigos, is what we have covered in el subjuntivo so far.